Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here. Today we have some officially revealed news for Pokemon Legends Arceus, and that is Hisuian Voltorb. I'm pretty excited to get into this. We're going to be doing a little, we'll be doing some theory modding in this video and talking about how the electric and grass typing is really cool for it. And yeah, if you guys do enjoy Pokemon videos, feel free to leave a like, subscribe. I'm uploading Pokemon VDSP content every single day, as well as Wi-Fi battles, couple times a week too, and I plan on uploading stuff of Pokemon Legends Arceus. Also, if you plan on picking up the game and you are from the United States, feel free to use my Best Buy affiliate link. The digital pre-orders are now available, as are the physical copies, so you can check out my Best Buy link down below. So let's talk about this. I'm excited. Also, I mean, getting a Shaman in game is cool too, but let's talk about the reason we are here. So here we have this Pokemon was actually plugged last night, and well, the other day on Twitter, as Pokemon was doing stuff with the ball guy, and it was a lot of fun. I love that they're doing these little fun little events for new Pokemon. But the new form of Voltorb is electric and grass, and it looks kind of like, old school apricot. Kind of looks like a Mega Man like enemy, I would say. It kind of has that vibe with a little hole on its head. So a striking resemblance to Pokeballs in the Hisui region. This enigmatic Pokemon has a glossy spherical body. It looks very similar to the Pokeballs of the Hisui region, with the wood grain-like makeup of its body surface and the hole on the top of its head. There seems to be countless seeds packed inside Hisuian Voltorb. Occasionally, it spouts these seeds out of the hole of its head. It kind of sounds like Bullet Seed. However, nobody knows exactly what it looks like inside the Pokemon's body, because inside the hole, it's pitch dark. It's impossible to see anything, even if one peers inside the hole. Excitement leads to an instant electrical discharge. Did they have to write it like this? This Pokemon is always in high spirits and has a friendly personality. However, it discharges its stored electricity all at once from the hole in its head when it gets excited. Yeah, it sounds like some people I know. So it frequently shocks humans and Pokemon in its vicinity. Even the slightest of sudden can set off such a discharge. So in human settlements, Hisuian Voltorb is considered a nuisance. Tales of people temporarily plugging the hole on Hisuian Voltorb's head and kicking out of sediments are not entirely uncommon. That is, why did they include that? That's a terrible thing to do to this poor Pokemon. Loving the background that we have here as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this, and I'm going to go from a competitive point of view. Obviously, we don't know anything about how Pokemon Legends Arceus is going to be. We know they're not going to have like a ranked ladder, but that doesn't mean that in future games we won't be able to use these Pokemon. And part of the fun, I think, when it comes to Pokemon is talking about what a Pokemon could get, what a move a Pokemon is going for, and things like that. So one thing I did like is that it looked like this Voltorb. I don't want to play too much of this clip because I don't want to get in trouble, but it looked like right here Voltorb was going for, not there, that looks like Spark or something like that, but it looked like right here Voltorb was going for what seems to be Energy Ball onto Geodude, because obviously it worked and it was super effective and whatnot. So that looks kind of like Energy Ball. I think Energy Ball would be the closest thing that we currently have that looks like that. But I really love the fact that Hisuian Voltorb means we'll have an Hisuian Electrode, which will be electric and grass. So for those that don't know about Electrode, it's a very fast Pokemon. Has decent special attack at base 80, but Electrode has never ever had the move pool to use it, right? So this is just a level 100. We're on Pokemon Showdown, just showing it off. But this is a level 100, right? Max speed is 438. It's a good speed tier. It was the fastest electric type for a while before we got Regieleki. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the fastest electric type. I can't think of one that was faster than Electrode off the top of my head. So yeah, so I believe that was the fastest electric type that we had. Yep. Looks like it. Yeah, it was faster than Zeraora. So yes, so it was the fastest electric type we had before Regieleki. And much like Regieleki, as you see, we have a speed tier and we have base 100 special attack. But Regieleki, of course, if you guys don't know, only has electric type attacks and like Swift and Hyper Beam or whatever. It's trash in terms of move pool. And Electrode was very similar because there's no hidden power in the game. Electrode used to run things like Volt Switch and Hidden Power Grass or Ice. Usually Grass because it allowed it to deal with this. I'm looking at National Dex, which is why I can actually put this Thunderbolt. And then you'd see maybe Taunt, Explosion, Signal Beam, when that was in the game too. Signal Beam is also not in the game. And then you might even see like a dual screens type of thing with Light Screen, Reflect, Volt Switch, or Taunt, and Explosion. And very similarly, Regieleki did the same thing. But now that Electrode is more than likely also going to be electric and grass, this opens up a lot for it. First off, forms of Pokemon always have the same base stat total, right? So electric, if I'm not mistaken, so Electrode would have 490 base 490 base stats, which is fine, especially if it keeps this current or even knocks out a little bit of speed and goes more into special attack with base 90, because an electric type that is not walled by grass, by ground types, right? By ground rock types is so good for this Pokemon. So very similarly, the only other, I believe, electric and grass type we have is Rotom Cut or Rotom Mow, whatever you want to call it. And this Pokemon has obviously the added benefit of Levitate. I don't know if this guy's going to get Levitate. We have no idea. Right now we have Static and Aftermath. Obviously Levitate gets rid of that, what would be the ground weakness for the electric types. But by adding that, being able to be neutral to the ground type attacks obviously opens up the viability even of this Pokemon, because it doesn't have terrible stats, right? Its HP is terrible at 60, but 70 defense and 80 special defense, it's respectable. Like, it's not anything crazy, but it's all right. It's average, right? Slightly below average. But being able to open that up and having something like Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, and then still having the option, obviously, of Volt Switch on like a choice spec set with base 80, and you could even go shoot Modest, because why the hell not? This mon's still faster than a lot of threats are on this tier. You're still faster than Pokemon like Tapu Koko too. So being able to do something like this, and then your last move is honestly, there's not a lot that we can put here, so we'll just leave that open for now. But being able to go something like this is really strong. We've seen this on Rotom itself, right? Rotom runs Choice Scarf and Choice Spec sets, if it's not running Nasty Plot sets, with the exact same thing. Just get rid of Energy Ball for Leaf Storm and then put Trick. Obviously, Trick isn't something that this guy currently learns, or Switcheroo, but who knows if that is something that will change. But I'm excited for this because it actually gives you a way of playing Electrode besides the taunt. I'm going to set up dual screens and boom. Similarly to how Regieleki, like the thing about this Pokemon as well is it just doesn't have any special attacks, right? It doesn't have any special attacks going for it at all. So even if you wanted to use something similar to like the Regieleki, which just runs Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Rapid Spin occasionally, and then you'd run like your Swift or whatever you're trying to hit Pokemon with, right? Swift, Ancient Power, whatever. That would still be better than an Electrode, because Electrode just doesn't have anything. Like, it has Swift here too, but the base 80 versus base 100, just there's a huge difference in that. And even this doesn't deal with like Landorus and Gliscor to an extent. But to be able to hit them with neutral, a neutral stab move doing about 30-40% opens up so much for the viability of this Pokemon. And I'm really excited to see how that opens up the metagame itself. I love that we're getting more types that we previously only had one of. I love when Pokemon does that, gives us more types, because Rotom is unique in itself, because obviously Rotom itself is unique, right? Its ability to go inside all the different appliances and change its typing and then become that typing is so cool. And the fact that they changed typing with that was always so cool. But just opening up the viability of a Pokemon like Electrode, and also being an electric type that resists water is really nice, because that's the main Pokemon you're going to want to be coming in. So not only are you opening up its offensive options, but you're opening up its defensive options too. Granted, you're adding a lot of weaknesses, since electric only has one weakness, which is ground. And when you pair electric with grass, you have a ton of weaknesses, right? Just some big ones that come to mind. I'm not even going to name the types, but I'm just going to say the moves that come to mind, right? You have U-turns, right, that are annoying as hell. You have Ice Shards, and I'm thinking like Scizors and Weaviles. So, not to mention fire type attacks, from not like you were ever switching in on Heatran, but Electro could come in on a Heatran if it wanted to in a tier and then set up a light screen. This one, you can't even come in on a Magma Storm to hope to live it. No, because you're going to be weak to that. But being weak to some of those typings are obviously going to hurt in some games, but just the defensive, I think the defensive utility that being electric plus that, I think it just does so much for, like, obviously Rotom, it's hard to compare it to Rotom because Rotom has higher special attack and higher defenses but lower HP, but just being able to be a fast mon that also just straight up resisting 4 times electric attacks is also amazing for this mon. Rotom Wash, for instance, yeah, it can burn you, but it's not going to be doing much to you because Volt Switch is resisted, Hydro Pump is resisted. So I just love the utility that it gives the this Pokemon to be able to come in on water types. Though obviously you also have to worry about water types having coverage with Ice Beam. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting, but I think it definitely changes it. And I like that we have an Electro that's like this. I do hope that we see a little bit more. I wouldn't even be opposed to it being physical, but they would have to have a physical grass move, and not a lot of physical grass moves I think make sense for this Pokemon. Grass, yeah, like I'm thinking like Woodhammer and Grassy Glide are like the physical ones that come to mind. Leaf Blade doesn't come to mind. It's a damn ball. Unless there's leaf, is there a leaf ball or a grass ball? Maybe there's something, I'm just not thinking about it. Like Apple Acid, maybe Apple Acid, if they aren't like a physical type of thing for it. But even then, I don't know how that would work with it. But yeah, so guys, let me know your thoughts on Electrode. What do you think we'll do for it? It definitely up its viability in terms of like anything really, right? Even on like rain teams, because one of the Electrodes that people used to use as well was like Manual Rain, Rain Dance, and Damp Rock. And again, I'm looking farther than Legends Arceus. I'm looking into Gen 9, but being able to do that with energy, being able to now do this with a Pokemon, and very similar to like how Rotom Wash can do. Why have my cap lock on? Being able to do this now, very similar to how Rotom Wash could also do it, is so cool, because now again you can just threaten those ground types that would want to try and come in on you, and also being neutral to ground is a cool thing too. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Obviously leave them down below. Like I said, if you guys want to pick up the game, feel free to use my Best Buy link. Feel free to subscribe. I'm gonna have a moveset guide going up later, as well as a video showing off that Pokemon. I'm sure you can tell by the background what Pokemon I'll be showing off, and I will see you guys in the next one. Also, I do have some merch available through Merchland. Big shout outs to them as well. If you would like to check it out, I'll also have that. I'll show it right here. But to celebrate Pokemon BDSP. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know your thoughts. Peace.